here if you can't tell. But today, welcome back to another back to school video here at Generation DIY. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make some DIY school supplies that I personally find very aesthetically pleasing. It's always very hard for me to say. This video is also, I'm so excited about this. This video is also sponsored by HP.
Your girl is excited.
But also I have a huge back to school giveaway going on right now, so if you want to go check that out, I will leave it in the description box. Yeah, if you like this video, make sure to like it, not just emotionally, and subscribe if you haven't already and you like my videos. Turn on that notification bell, because if you do and you comment down below, you might be featured as shout out of the week at the end of my next video. So without further ado, let's get started.
Waking up in the morning, I can't remember yesterday with you.
Okay guys, I feel like there's been a change in our time. We no longer really use like analog school supplies. Is that the right term? A lot of our supplies are going more towards like the electronic side, and you have to use like a laptop or a computer or something like that. So, perfect segue. I'm showing you guys literally the most amazing laptop that I have ever laid my hands on. It's the HP Spectre 360, and this is actually perfect if you are looking for a laptop for school because it's super light. Feels like I'm giving a sales pitch, but I promise you this laptop is like actually amazing. And get this, it's rose gold, so it's so pretty. It's the most aesthetically pleasing computer that I've ever laid my eyes on. Anyway, the point is I'm gonna be making some laptop stickers / decals because I need some motivation for school because that place is a hard time.
Let me tell you.
But yeah, I wanted to decorate it and spice it up a bit so that I have some motivation while I'm in school. So let's get started. Okay, so for these laptop stickers, you can either search for some images on Google, or you can like draw your own design, which is what I'm doing right here on the Paint app. And I'm using the stylus that actually came with the laptop, and it's so fun and so amazing, and I just had such a jolly good time doing this. Unfortunately though, my drawing skills are not quite cut out for the sketchy star look that I'm going for, so instead I'm going over to PicMonkey.com, and then I'm just making my own design with a transparent background, and then I'm dragging one of their star designs on, and this one had like a black star in the middle, and I just erased that so that I had just the star outline, and I really liked the sketchy effect of the star, so that's why I went with it. And then I dragged the image into Microsoft Word, and then I pasted that a bunch of times so that I would have a bunch of stars to work with that I could turn into stickers. And then I also wanted to do some kind of like motivational word, so I put focus on there because I procrastinate so much. And then I just went ahead and printed that out, and in order for the stickers to work, you need to print this out on a laser printer. After that, I took some Scotch tape. You can use any kind of clear tape that you have. I just like this because it's not too reflective, just so it doesn't mess with the aesthetic of the computer. Now I'm taking a section of tape and just taping it over the word focus, and I'm pressing it down really hard, also using my nail just so that the tape is securely on the word. And I'm also doing that to the stars as well. If you have larger graphics like this big star, you can actually lay 2 pieces of tape on top of each other. Now I'm gonna cut out the pieces, and now's the time to cut out your sticker as close to your image as you need to. So for the star, I'm cutting around the star but leaving kind of like a border around it. It's easier to do this now rather than later, so if you need to do that, go ahead and do that now, but you can also just leave like a circle around it if you want to. And now I'm taking a cup of water, and I'm just placing all of those pieces in, and you want to let these soak for honestly not very long, like a couple seconds will do. I left them for maybe like 20-30 seconds, more or less, really doesn't matter. And then you're just gonna start rubbing off the paper off the back, and don't use your nails, just lightly rub it with your fingers and the paper should come off pretty easily. And once you're done rubbing off the paper, you should see your sticker on the tape, and here is your sticker. I just laid it on the side of the mug to let it dry and squeezed out as much of the water as I could, and obviously I'm doing this to the rest of the stickers as well. I just let them dry for a little bit, and to let them dry more, I kind of just ran my fingers across the back to get the water off, and after a while you'll notice that it just turns sticky. And then I whipped out the star of the show, the laptop, this beautiful, anyway, I stuck those star stickers at the corner of the laptop, and I think this looks super cute. And then I took my focus sticker and stuck it on the keyboard side of the laptop, just so that when I'm actually using the computer and doing schoolwork or something like that, you know, if I start to wander off in class, I'll see this and remember what I'm supposed to be doing. You guys know I'm a college student, so my laptop is like my saving grace, and this one is super fast and really light. I actually wish that I had this laptop sooner because I have been lugging around a heavy freaking laptop in my backpack for like 3 years, and it's hurting my back. This one is so light, I like literally don't feel like I'm carrying anything, and I'm just in love with this computer, okay? I can't say enough good things about it. If you want to check out this computer, I highly recommend it. I will leave it in the description box so you can go check it out.
I can't focus on what needs to get done. I'm on notice, open digital run.
Alright, next up, we're heading back to the analog stuff. We're making this freaking magical, like, unicorn looking notebook. So, let's get started. I first started out with this spiral bound notebook, and then I took this piece of white cardstock and I just traced the front cover onto the piece of cardstock so that, you know, we have a right size paper. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. Alright, now comes the fun part. You're gonna whip out your paints and your sponges, and I'm using a bunch of like pastel colors. I actually didn't have pastel paints, I just grabbed my regular color paints and then added a bunch of white to it. First off, I'm starting out with a blue kind of turquoise paint. I'm using that in the corner. Next, I'm taking my pastel purple and I'm doing the same thing, but I'm kind of like blending it into the blue. You kind of want to place colors that are similar beside each other, and blue and purple are obviously next to each other on the rainbow, which I feel like you guys know, so I don't really need to explain that. The lighter the colors, the easier it's going to be to blend together. That's why I made everything pastel. Next, I'm using a pastel pink. I feel like this is getting kind of repetitive, but I just wanted to show you guys. And if you find that it's kind of hard to blend, you can actually add some water to your paint or your sponge just to help you blend easier. Then you're just gonna continue doing that on the entire piece of paper, and once you finish, you're finished. I always say once you're finished, but that's very obvious and I don't know why I keep saying it. When you paint on a piece of paper, it usually starts to crinkle up and stuff, so in order to flatten that out, I first let it dry, and then I just stacked a bunch of heavy stuff on it and let it kind of flatten overnight. And while I was waiting for that to flatten, I actually took the original notebook, and since the sides actually show when I put the piece of paper on, I took the same pastel pink and I kind of just went in between the spirals, and once that was dry, I was ready to put my beautiful watercolor masterpiece on the notebook. And I just used a simple glue stick to glue this on because it's the easiest, and I laid it on there, pressed it down, made sure it was flat. I am obsessed with this notebook. I think it's so pretty and very aesthetically pleasing.
And yeah, it's true that I'm a little bit intense, right? But can you blame me when you keep me on the fence?
I feel like my channel wouldn't be my channel if I didn't make another DIY marble something. So this time I'm making a marble pencil case, and what I did to make this was I used a jean jacket. I know what you guys are gonna say, but calm your camels for like 2 seconds. I was ready to donate this jacket, like it was going out the door in like 2 days, and then I was like, wait, I can totally reuse this. So instead of throwing it out, I decided to upcycle it. So I'm using this fabric from the sleeve to make the pencil case. So I'm gonna cut off the sleeve, and I realize not everyone has just a spare ombre jean jacket lying around. So if you do want to recreate this, just use some kind of strong white fabric. So I kind of had to eyeball this since this isn't like a real piece of fabric, but I ended up measuring 26 centimeters in length, and I think the height of this is also 26 centimeters, but I just marked it off and cut off the length that I needed for my pencil case. You can probably totally find a plain white pencil case in a store or something, but I looked on Amazon and a lot of them are like really expensive, so I decided to just make my own since I love DIYing anyway. Alright, since I am using a sleeve, which is kind of ratchet, I'm actually gonna tear the seam seams so that I have one continuous piece of fabric and it's not like a circle, you know what I mean? And then once I've torn all of the seams, I'm just going to lay it flat. And then I realized it wasn't like a perfect rectangle, so I had to cut it to a perfect rectangle. This probably isn't relevant if you're actually using a nice piece of fabric, but just want to let you guys know all the details of my juicy life. All right, next I just took this zipper that I found in my house. You guys might be like, you just found a zipper lying around? Actually, yes, because a while ago I bought a bunch of zippers from the thrift store just because I thought I might need it, and turns out it came in very handy. So I'm taking my black zipper and I'm laying it right side up on the back side or the inside of the fabric, and I'm actually folding up about like a centimeter of seam allowance, and we are not sewing here, we're actually using a glue gun. So I'm squeezing a line of glue onto the side of the black zipper, and then I'm just placing that folded edge onto the zipper and I'm pressing it down so that it is secure. Alright, once I did that to one side, I also did the exact same thing to the other side of the zipper. Okay, I realized all of this kind of sounds complicated, but when I actually did it, I was like, this is actually super easy. And anyway, I flipped my pencil case inside out, and then I made sure the zipper was in the middle. Next up, I glued a line down the side of the pencil case and I pressed it down. This is just to close off the pencil case, and you want to do this to both sides of your pencil case, obviously, so you don't get a wonky, lopsided pencil case that's only closed on one end. You know, that's not really the look we're going for. If you're looking for a simple pencil case that kind of just lays flat, you can actually stop here. But I wanted to go one step further, so I'm actually folding up this triangle on the corner of the pencil case. I made the triangle so that it's kind of facing the zipper. I'm gonna measure 5 centimeters on each side of the triangle and mark it. And once I've made those marks, I'm gonna connect the 2 marks, and that is where I'm gonna create my seam. But since we're not sewing, I actually cut the corner off first, and I left kind of like 5 millimeters of seam allowance, and then I just took my glue gun and I glued a line of glue across the top of that cut, and then I pressed the edges together, and now I have my first little fold. And then I did the same thing to the other 3 corners because we love equality. That was a joke, but not, I mean, equality is not a joke, but anyway, I don't know how to speak properly. After I finished gluing off those corners, it was ready to be flipped inside out, so I kind of unzipped the zipper a little bit and then just flipped it inside out, and now you have your beautiful pencil case. And I cannot believe how easy this was. This honestly took me like 20 minutes, so I'm shook to my core right now. So if you want just like a plain pencil case, you can definitely just stop right here and use this as your pencil case. But again, I wanted to go one step further because I am the queen of extra. I'm actually not the queen of extra, but I just kind of want to say that. I regret that whole sentence. Anyway, moving on. So I'm gonna paint this pencil case a marble print. So I filled this up with a bunch of paint bottles just so that I would have like a hard surface to work on. In order to paint marble, you need to kind of work in layers. So first off, I watered down some black paint, and I really watered it down so that it was really light. I kind of started off a little strong right here, so I watered it down some more, and then you kind of just want to make these light strokes, make some random squiggly designs. Marble is quite angular, so don't do too many swirly things, don't be too circular with it. You can just search up a marble pattern and kind of follow that. So after you're done with your light gray layer, you can go ahead and go in with a less watered down black paint, and I just added a few drops of water to this paint just so that it wasn't completely black and I could still blend it in and it would kind of like still soak into the pencil case. And I'm using a thinner brush for this so that I can add more detailed cracks. I'm kind of just going over the lines that I already had, but making the lines a lot thinner. After I was finished, this is what it looked like. Marble definitely takes a little bit of practice, and I've definitely had a lot of practice, which is why my marble looks, in my opinion, pretty good. I'm actually obsessed with this thing. Like, I think it looks so aesthetically pleasing. You know what? I should do a marble shirt next. That would be really cool. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. No, I'm not ready to throw in the towel and give up on you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, thank you so much to HP for sponsoring this video. I love you guys. Shout out of the week is right here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!